By the end of this video, you're going to learn about what if you go viral and you still end up having issues. Is this worth it? Is going viral worth it for you? Now, my name is Daiwat, and why should you listen to me? Why should you? My name is Daiwat again, and I own Spring Digital. Spring Digital is a content and an advertisement agency on social media. What we do is we basically have a lot of customers that we help with content that get a lot of attention online, literally close to 1 million and more every month. And they have a lot of walk-ins through that. We have created good campaigns that have helped our customers go from literally 250% more sales compared to the last year over year. So I think I am credible enough to speak on these issues. Be careful of what you wish for, right? So this is what happened to me. So I wanted to work with this client for a very long time. What followed was this client was hard to get. We were recommended by a lot of people. We finally got through. They didn't have the budget. We were like, okay, our promises are crazy. I promise you that the first few reels that I post will like literally blow up. But my concern was that, are you okay? Are you okay with handling that kind of pressure? Because that client isn't equipped to handle that amount of customers. They were small. And funny enough, what happened was the video went viral, second video went viral, third video went viral, and they were flooded with people. There was no place to stand in their office. Their business was flooded with walk-ins like crazy. And what followed was worst. Customers had waited a very, very long time to get what they had ordered. This upset not a few, but more than majority of the customers. And you know, the upset customer is the fastest one to complain about it, right? But the worst part is that you get a bad Google review, you get a bad word of mouth because you screwed up. Customers were unhappy. They threw 1-star reviews, they threw tantrum at the doors, they were upset, and this drew a negative word of mouth. What ends up happening now is you don't see the repercussions except for the Google reviews, but there are other repercussions. The business kind of slows down and people see the reviews even before they walk in. The upset people now came back and commented and bitched about it, how bad it was, recommended people not to go. There was nothing wrong with the product. There was nothing wrong with the availability or the location or anything like that. But the systems were not in place to match the amount of orders. Now, what happens is this client sees a lot of negative feedback on Google, negative feedback on his videos, and they are upset. We have late night calls. The customer's obviously very panicked. You got a lot of business and then you're not able to meet it. We don't want this to happen to you. And if you're my future client or not, I don't want you to go through this. So what would you do in terms of planning to not mess this up? Now, before you go viral or before you hire an agency or before you start posting content, a lot of the times you have to figure out for yourselves that are you equipped or not? How would you do that? You would have to first figure out that, hey, you know what? If I'm selling burgers, do I have enough orders? Do I have enough or burger buns ordered so that if tomorrow, or does at least my supplier is close by or my supplier can have faster turnaround to get me those buns? If not, what are you relying on? If you're sold out before half of the day, you're not going to be able to tell the customer that, hey, I'm so sorry. How many customers are going to tell, right? So you'd have to figure out that if tomorrow one of my supplier is not able to give me the buns that I require, I would have to go hire a second one. I would have to go find a second supplier that gives me the same buns, same recipes, everything's the same. That's how Toyota does, right? They have the same recipes, everything's the same, but they have a backup. You got to keep a backup. You got to plan your stuff. Tomorrow, if my product goes viral or if the demand increases, I need to be ready. Second thing is that if you are understaffed, you're going to have a hard time because employees, they work for that 8 hours or whatever, 10 hours if they're working overtime. If they're great employees, they'll work for a few days. They'll be upset though that you are not paying them enough for that overload, right? You want to know some people at the back that you can pull to like get more employees. You can hire fast. You can scale this company faster. You need to have that knowledge. You need to have those resources, money, people, all of those resources. And you need to figure out that, hey, you know what? If I have so many things going under me, I'd be able to manage all of these. If you want to figure out if you're ready for it or not, find out what would be the bottleneck in terms of new customers coming in and me not being able to fulfill that. For me, I already know I'm understaffed, right? For you, it might be something else. It might be that you don't have enough resources, you don't have a lot of suppliers, you don't know what you're doing. Sometimes you're just like, okay, I'm serving a small amount of group and now suddenly I got twice the amount of customers. How I'm going to serve them? You got to figure out your resources, you got to figure out your processes, you got to systemize everything. You'll have to have a system of every step. You'll have to write it down, like SOP, standard operating procedures. Everything has to be systemized, and that's how you scale, right? Without that, going viral is useless. Simple as that, right? So picture yourselves doing this. If you were to tomorrow start doing this, you need to systemize everything, and it doesn't have to be so high tech. Talk to Chat GPT, talk to Grok, whichever chat LLM that you use. Tell them that this is what you do, and give me a systemized version of this step by step. Learn how to put a prompt for it and just throw it in. Have it documented, review it with your team, make sure that you're doing every step every time. Meanwhile, you're trying to go viral, because you're not just gonna go viral tomorrow. For me, some of the brands have just gone viral in the first video that I told you right now. I already knew that it's gonna go viral, but a lot of the times it's hard. It's freaking hard. It took us 3 months for one of our clients. It was horrible until we discovered a new way to like get a lot of views, right? My recommendation again, picture yourselves doing certain things like a robot, figure out the systems for it, and then go for it. Then you have what it takes. Then you can possibly scale this business, right? So all the best to you again. And if you liked this video, if you learned something from this video, I would really respect you if you could like, subscribe, and share it with a friend who needs this. Thank you so much.